Hello everyone, and welcome to our video demonstration on how to complete performance appraisals for the employees that you manage. We will demonstrate HRA Cloud's new flexible online performance review process in the following presentation. The purpose of performance appraisals is to enhance the communication channels between you and your direct reports, ensuring that you celebrate your employees' achievements, uncover any areas requiring further development, and proactively focus on your employees' professional development goals for the future. You will see that the process is simple and straightforward. Please treat this demonstration as a guide only, as your organization may conduct their performance review processes slightly differently. This example is Casey, who is the general manager for Sandwich Eats, a popular food chain. Casey manages 4 employees who report directly to her. Sandwich Eats is conducting an internal performance review using HRA Cloud's online performance review module, also known as OPR. Casey will need to conduct a performance appraisal for each of her direct reports. HRA Cloud's OPR module is usually set up by your organization's HR or leadership teams, who define the key result areas, key performance indicators, and rating scales for each job position. Once launched, your employees will be prompted to conduct a self-assessment. Then you, as their manager, will also be prompted to conduct a performance assessment for each of your direct reports. There are some additional options. Once you have both completed your assessments, the initial performance review report is emailed to the manager only. The manager then has the option to either amend your employee assessment and/or control the timing of the release of this initial report to the employee. You and your employees can then meet to review and discuss the combined performance review assessment report. There is also the opportunity to input final ratings and comments to conclude the performance review process. This will issue the final performance review report. It is important to note that the OPR provides organizations with the option to gain feedback from 2 or more assessors. For example, the additional assessor can be another manager, team coordinator, or peer who is invited into the performance review process to provide their feedback and insights based on their dealings or working relationship with that employee. The experience for additional assessors when completing their assessment is the same as what we will cover today. However, they will not receive the summary report and are only included in any employee discussions if invited into the process. Once HR has launched the process, you'll receive an email prompting you to log in and complete your appraisals. In this example, there is a welcome message from HR confirming the details for the performance review process and who to contact if there are any further questions. This message will either disappear once expired, or you can simply dismiss the message to remove it from your notice board. You'll notice that there are inbox notifications waiting for you to action. When you click on this notification, it will take you to your pending tasks. You can see that there are a couple here related to performance review. As you can see, Casey is prompted to complete 4 performance reviews, 1 for each of her direct reports. In this example, Casey will assess the performance review of Joe, a business support officer. From here, you can commence Joe's assessment by clicking on the task and then performance reviews link. You will first be informed as to the performance review period that is being reviewed. In this example, Joe's performance is being assessed for the period between 1st July to the 30th of June. Before you can commence his assessment, you are prompted to review flagged notes against his electronic HR record if there are any. As you can see, Joe has recently had some performance issues where he's been struggling to minimize distractions at work. Notes of this nature are flagged to assist with your evaluation. This is especially important now as Joe is working more from home than he has ever before. This is something that Casey will need to keep in mind when assessing Joe's performance. When you click on the first HRA button, you are then prompted to rate your employee's performance based on their detailed KPIs and provide context for each rating using the comments box below. Let's do this one together. As you can see, the name of the HRA is up the top. In this case, it's adaptability. It's a brief description, and then the KPIs and rating scale. Casey will rate Joe as often exceeding this KRA and then enter in comments for justification. If I click next, you can see that Casey has already started working on this one and the previous comments and ratings have already been saved. It's important to note that this does automatically save your work, so you can come back later to it if needed. As we work through each assigned key result area, you will see that you may be asked for a rating scale, a comment, or both. In this case, it's just a comment without a rating scale. You'll notice that the comment field says required. If there are any outstanding fields that are required that have not been completed, you will not be able to submit the performance appraisal. Great, and here Casey has already completed entering her comments for the big challenge or hurdle for Joe. And once you've completed all your ratings and comments, you can move on to any objectives. So this is an example of an objective regarding improving communication that has been set in previous performance review rounds. If the employee does not have any objectives linked to their account, this area will not appear. Casey will then enter in their comments and then go to the review and submit panel. Once you have completed all ratings and comments, you'll finalize your performance review at the review and submit page. This page provides a summary of your assessment and will allow you to complete any missed items or amend as needed. In this case, let's assume you are happy with the assessment and therefore can now submit your employee's appraisal. There, now it's submitted. On to the next step. Once your employee has also completed their self-assessment, an initial performance review summary report is automatically emailed to you as the manager only. The report is not sent to the employee yet. You can see this via the email. Otherwise, you can also see it within your self-service by navigating to the My Organization and Group Performance Reviews. If you open up the report, you can see that the ratings and comments input by both you as the manager and your employee are displayed together in the report. You as the manager can then amend your ratings and comments if you want. In the email you received, it will prompt you to log into the next steps. You'll notice there are a couple of different options here. Option 1. Once you have read the employee's self-assessment, you have the ability to amend your ratings and comments if needed. You will need to contact your HR team as the Enable HR administrators to allow you to amend your employee's assessment. This feature is often used to promote greater alignment and ensure a richer exchange of feedback between the employee and the manager prior to the meeting. Option 2, you can choose when to release the initial report from ESS. The employee will only receive the report if and when you release it. If you choose to skip this task and not release the report, the employee will only receive the final performance review report, which incorporates your final ratings and comments at the end of the process. Once the report has been released, generally the next step in the performance review process is for you to meet with your employee to discuss the report and agree on any professional development goals for the future. As part of this meeting, you and your employee also agree on a final rating for each assessable item, which you'll need to input into OPR as per the same process. You can either do this during the meeting or after the meeting. Once you have completed the final assessment, you will be both issued with the final appraisal summary report. As part of the performance review process, there are often new objectives and/or goals set to facilitate employee professional development for the next performance review period. There are several ways to do this. Your employee can enter these objectives via their self-service for you to review and approve within HRA Cloud. Or these objectives can be entered directly against the employee's electronic HR record within HRA Cloud if you have the requisite access. You as their manager can also enter these objectives via self-service when you are inputting the final ratings and comments. This can be done by clicking on Add a Development Objective and selecting on Operational Strategic, filling out the relevant sections and clicking Add this objective. Once you are done, you can go to the Review and Submit pane and submit the appraisal. The review process is now complete. If you have any questions, please contact the account administrators within your organization. This is usually members of your leadership or HR team. From the team here at HRA Cloud, thanks for watching this online performance review training video, and we'll see you in the next one.